I've been on YouTube now for 10 years. Can you believe it? I sure can't. I wrote that in December, filmed in January, edited in February. Now it's September. Oops. Fasten your seatbelts because this is gonna be a bumpy ride across some rocky terrain. December 2011, I created this channel. I was making a website for class and I decided it would be easier to link videos than to upload directly to the website. I had not intended to do anything else with this channel. The first video I uploaded was called Turkey Dance Party. I made it in 2006, and then for Christmas, I got a tripod, the one I'm filming this video with. 2012. In May, I uploaded some videos from my high school open house. June was the first music video cover that I did. It was on voice and piano. It's bad. I spent my first summer of the 3 years I did a summer internship. I had planned on editing all of my vacation home movies and uploading to YouTube. Vacation vlogs of yesteryear. In the fall, I returned to Alma for my sophomore year. My favorite class that semester was music theory with Dr. Messing. My other favorite class was black and white photography, and yes, with like film and reels. Then in December, I got a Tumblr. 2013, I got really bored and posted a ton of videos, like old videos, and I did some music mashups. And then in March, 3 of us from photography club took a trip. I uploaded a video of me getting attacked by a hawk because that actually happened. I spent like 5 weeks in Peru on a class semester abroad. That trip was 10 out of 10, would go again. In fact, the girl that I roomed with our host family, she did go back. So it turns out we're distantly related. I returned home and like I get to work. I get to work on editing, gets me into archiving mode. In the summer, I start watching Supernatural and I kept up with the series. Oh man, I was in for a wild ride that didn't end until February 2021 because of all the fandom drama. In July, I capture and upload my first Let's Play. I aimed a point and shoot camera and this tripod at my TV. It's bad. Unrelated to multimedia, but worth noting, I was in drumline in college. I was placed on synth for the halftime show, and then for my junior and senior year, I did cymbals for parades and pregame. In October, I upload a project that I made in class. It's a stop motion. Also in October, Adam Squared takes me on a photo shoot to like this old abandoned car lot. As part of a class assignment, we make a short film for the 48-hour film project. The goal is to make a short film 3 to 6 minutes within a 48-hour window. You can't do anything ahead of time except like get, your cast and your crew together. In that 48 hours, you have to write, film, edit, render, and transport this entire short film. Our team actually won an award. We won Best Scream. In November 2013, I came out as asexual. So what does that mean? I'm just realizing I never made a coming out video. Coming out video. It was also in November, I got my first smartphone. I got teeth braces. During the December semester break, we had like this crazy snow and ice storm that froze everything. I filmed it and made a parody of the Frozen trailer. Like I used the audio and then put clips from like our backyard winter wonder landscape. There were a bunch of mistakes, so I took it down and re-uploaded it in February, which brings us to 2014. I upload my most popular video to date. It's the Newsies score comparison. As of January 2022, this has over 9,000 views. It's so dumb. I put the movie soundtrack in one ear and the Broadway soundtrack in the other, and fancies, y'all ate this up. It's really not good. I upload a couple of videos from spring term semester. The class produces a short film. 'Twas I who recruited people from my floor and got us 2 of our 3 lead actors. I'm really good on the pre-production and post-production sides, but not so much on the production side. In June, I get a freelance, as in free, gig to monitor sound for this band that my dad's in. a band I would join the following year. On the summer solstice, I did my first ever freelance, as in paid, gig. I shot my friend's wedding with the help of my parents. You always need at least 3 cameras when you do a wedding. I spent the rest of the summer at the media internship. My uncle, aunt, and cousin and I all went to Florida in August. Don't make that mistake. Post embarrassing videos from Florida. Flash forward to December, my buddy Dan and I make a mockumentary for our semester project. To be on a cruise, someone outside is being loud. Like much of the content on this channel, the date posted does not accurately reflect the date it was created. 2015. My college decides to send a few of us to Mumble Tech, the Midwest Bisexual, Lesbian, Gay, Transgender, Asexual College Conference. Location, Normal, Illinois. The narrative, a new normal. Post Mumble Tech vlog. Towards the end of the semester, I post a throwback video for that time that I tried to make a video tutorial on Wii Sports. In April, I get to be an extra in a buddy's short film. They needed dancers. Guess who knows how to swing dance? Thinking I would find a job right away out of college. I didn't sign up for another summer internship, but I do help them out with a promo. Fun fact, my grandma was an immigrant from Belfast, and her cousin has grandkids my age. In June, I go visit the cousins and the rest of the family. Post Northern Ireland vlogs. So at this point, I have been watching Supernatural for a couple years, and the Hillywood show releases their fan video, which I spend several hours just completely deconstructing, matching reference shots. As of January 2022, has 4,600 views. Feeling nostalgic and itching to work on more projects, I posted highlights reel of all the bands I've been in since middle school. It's not a lot, and I think making this talent show reel led me to realize I needed to do more music stuff. In July, I go see a Dawes concert. They're doing a fan music video contest. I needed a creative outlet, so of course I participated. It's just a lip sync though, but I still planned out a shot list, and I overproduced it. Also in July, I get sent a 48-hour film project sign-up sheet. They have one for teams that need people and people that need teams, so I signed up. And I got a call shortly after from this random guy. Spoiler alert, we've been collaborating on 48-hour film challenges as well as freelance and other things ever since. Elle was the one who actually got me into my most recent job. In August, my dad and I go run sound for my high school talent show, and they need a couple mics and stuff. So on the way home, we find a car for sale. 2006 Chevy HHR with indigo and some pinstriping. This was the best car. At the point at which we bought the car, I didn't have a license. I quickly obtained one. In the fall, I join a choir as an alto 2, which I have never done before. I stayed with that until spring of the next year. So remember that band that asked me to monitor their sound? I joined them on tenor sax too, and I stayed with that for a whole year. Still bored and still unemployed, I upload a How to Train Your Dragon suite. I take in every occurrence of a specific motif and I put it together. In December, I go see Newsies. I just need everyone to know how much of a fansy I am. Some of my most popular videos are from this fandom. Oh my God, someone cast me as Crutchy, please. And then at the very end of December, my dad's friend gifts him with 2 ukuleles. I pick up the thing like it was made for me. 2016. In January, I joined a concert band on percussion. I did cymbals in college. I got this. I didn't got this. I only stayed for a semester because mallets make me nervous. In February, I get a Canon 70D, which is a model up from what I shot in college. For my birthday, I upload Probably the dumbest thing that I have done. It's a parody of the Campfire song from SpongeBob, but it's about making ramen and how much I miss my friends. This is the first time that I captured something in GarageBand. Before then, I had been using my dad's Tascam Porta Studio. So then February, March, and April, I was doing freelance work for a local nonprofit to help document the recycling initiative during the Flint water crisis. Also in March, I finished a cover of Take It Easy, which is like hands down one of my favorite songs of all time. I didn't do any saxophone. You don't want to take it so easy and so silly that you become a clown. The timing on my strums was out of sync with what I was doing with the piano. We had been dogless for close to a half a year, and thus Honeybee was adopted. Honey appears in several of my videos. She likes to be included. Also in April, I upload a Gravity Falls and Fall Out Boy mashup. It takes me about 3.5 years to decide, let's like write sheet music out for this and do a proper cover. This mashup has almost 4,700 views. I don't know how or why y'all flock to the really bad version. I wish y'all would go to the really good one. I get my first job in May. I had, of course, some more freelance stuff. Freelance as in free and unpaid. I got to be a photographer for a marriage proposal. It was very unfun. Like, I'm sorry. Oh my God, that has to go well or else she won't say yes. Buddy, you might want to rethink this whole marriage thing. I get it, not every job pays, which includes the 48-hour film challenge. Like, you have to pay to participate, which I will gladly do. This year, we win the award for Best Prop. For those of you who don't know, the 48-hour film challenge, everyone has a different genre. You draw it from a hat, but then there are 3 required elements. The prop that year was a mug. So I signed on again with the same team that I did in 2015. We made it seem like an entire pot of coffee going into this little tiny mug in Finapore, and we won. That's another line on my resume, right? In July, I am one of the event photographers for the Flint Youth Film Festival. And like, it's unpaid, but I get a lot of like merchandise. In the summer, I audition for the New Century Chorale. I remained in the ensemble for a year. It was a lot of fun. I still have not mastered the art of recording live sound while recording live video. I record all my sound, and then I have to go back and lip sync. This was a turning point for me because I realized if I'm gonna be producing like high quality audio, I'm gonna need to keep people's attention. This is a video platform. So I shoot a proper music video in November and upload it in September of the next year. Procrastination station. Without the use of proper recording equipment, I press the start button on my camera and I do a not so great cover of These Days by Jackson Browne. I probably should remove this because I messed up the vocal lines a lot. I got some of the melodies wrong. I added words where they weren't supposed to be, but it's also one of my most viewed videos. 5,000. In September, I am asked to be a sub in a swing band. I bought a new computer in September. My old computer had 2 1/8-inch ports. It had an input and an output. This new computer has one that you have to use as both an input and output, and splitters don't work. I'm just gonna have to use the old one for recording purposes and dump everything onto the new one. For Christmas, my dad gets me a Martin baritone ukulele. I love it so much that I play it until my fingers bleed, which leads us to 2017. Some bad stuff happened politically in 2016 and 2017 and 2018, 19, 20, 21, and probably forever. As a result of that, people organized a women's march, and I was asked to hand out information about the organization I was part of. So I did. I vlog about the experience, but it's mostly just me singing to songs that get me pumped up. For my birthday in February, I get professional studio lights and a backdrop. This is not the backdrop. Very excited to do this because I had a client. Attended the March for Science at the state capitol. In June, My choir goes to New York City to sing at Carnegie Hall. I got beforehand a monopod and a shot list prepared. August, I go down to Ohio to shoot my coworker's wedding. Several hours of September were spent picking out shots from the bootleg of the Newsies Broadway show to pair with the 1992 trailer and that audio. Also, side note, rest in peace, Mark Elliott, the voice announcer who did all of the Disney trailers from the 90s. He passed away in 2021. In October, I shoot Audrey's portraits. She got into a Gilbert and Sullivan musical, and in the playbill, they needed headshots. I moved out to my first ever apartment in November, so I borrowed my dad's mixer board and a few cables. To celebrate moving out, I write and record and produce a Christmas medley. I didn't yet know what I was doing with medleys, so it's just really long and really boring. It's mostly vocals. Each project I take on becomes more challenging and ambitious than the last. Dad gets me my own mixer board for Christmas 2018. In February, I am asked to join a big band on tenor 2. I stick with it for exactly 2 years. I uploaded some absolutely horrendously stupid videos in March and April and May. In April, I get an electric 4-string cigar box guitar. I make a music video with that. The song is Do You Believe in Magic? This song, and I go way back to 2005 when I sang it in a talent show. It was in the key of F. The original is in the key of C. I have always been an alto. You can imagine this was a problem. The vocals were pretty much lifeless and sterile. My lip sync was just bad. I looked awkward and nervous the whole time. April, Abby and I do a cover of Sincerely Me from Dear Evan Hansen. We had a lot of fun making this, and I learned a lot. Also, how quickly I can turn around. In transcription, I think I did it in one night. April, I join a concert band on tenor 1, and I stick with that until the summer of the following year. In May, I post another one of those really stupid videos where I only use the camera's built-in microphone. In the summertime, I upload a bunch of the Tanner family music showcases. June, I finally uploaded the New York medley. Sarah sends it to the entire choir. And now when I watch it, it's pretty cringe. I still made a project, I made something, and no one can take that away from me. Many hours were put into this project, and I still was trying to get a grasp of how to transcribe better. There's a lot of holes in the score, so it's just exposed voice. In July, my team participates in the 48-hour film challenge once again. On the 21st day of the month of September, I uploaded my Little Shop of Horrors medley. Abby, our project was the first collab, but I didn't record you. So this is my first time doing the entire ensemble. I didn't yet know how to direct. Disclaimer, I still don't know how to direct. And of course, I made the runtime 13 minutes and 13 seconds. The address of the shop, how many times have I told you? For Jackson Brown's birthday in October, I upload a cover of Runnin' on Empty with some lyric changes. This one was my first long take to have to key all of the people together. I know. I keep saying that each project was more of a challenge than the last, but it's true. At that point in time, I was still mixing and sound editing in GarageBand. I will admit, GarageBand is fantastic for recording purposes, but it's absolute crap for finessing a project. I take all of the raw GarageBand tracks, solo them, and dump into Final Cut. Having felt absolutely destroyed by the last 2 projects that I made, I opt for something a cappella. In November, I start writing the Christmas Medley Volume 2. I did a lot of things right. I got backgrounds. It's much more technically proficient than Volume 1, but no one needs a 9-minute Christmas medley. I started researching Greek mythology and how certain Disney movies may or may not be accurate, which takes us to 2019. Remember how I shot my coworker's wedding and I decided I needed a second DSLR? Well, I got one in May, the one I'm shooting with right now. Obsessed with 54 Below's YouTube channel. I find a song, immediately vibe with it, and decide I'm gonna make a cover of this. This was the first video that I made after I bought the upgraded version of Final Cut. At the same time that I'm filming this, I filmed like 3 other things. I cut and donate my hair in July. I'd been planning on doing it since February, but I had to finish filming first. In July, the team regroups for another 48-hour film project. Later in July, I fly to Chicago to go visit Abby and we shoot a music video. In August, I recruit Al to help me shoot a coworker's wedding. Later in August, I upload a rock cover video that I'm honestly really proud of. It holds up when I rewatch it. There's no cringe. You know, when you watch your earlier work and you're like, I didn't know what I was doing. I bought a bunch of accessories to put on headstocks. I do a second annual Halloween video, Hex Girl cover. In November, I try my hand at the PMJ search in a song meant for a soprano. I had the Roaring 20s costumes. Later on in November, I upload my first parody music video. A friend and I shot it over the summer. Sadly, in November, I sold my HHR, made a music video, Long May You Run, what I shot in the car. The heartache made me not feel comfortable posting the video for almost 2 years. I love that car more than I think I could ever love a man. Then disaster happened. COVID? No. I was laid off from my job. I think there were 12 of us. The company downsized. On my last day, I gave all my coworkers the blog posts that I had written specifically about work. It was like 30 pages and they loved it. I still write and produce the Christmas medley. The show must go on. 2020. The roaring 20s, am I right? I moved back in with my parents in January. It was not a good time. Being unemployed meant I had the time to finish the projects that I never got around to finishing. So I posted the collab I did with Abby, the accompanying blooper reel, the one-woman cover of That Thing You Do. Literally the next day after the gig, I got on a plane and I flew out to California and Arizona. I got a call to schedule a job interview while I was in LA picking up my renter car. So I had my portable microphone and I recorded like a single take. Upon returning to Michigan, I had the interview and I was hired. So I started like a week later, but not before I did a saxophone clinic for one of my music teacher friends. Like, life was well and good. And then March 2020 happened. I self-quarantine at home. I drag out old scores that I never got around to finishing. Like this parody I started writing back in September 2018 and then I forgot about it for over a year. There was so much editing because of the stupid memes and I had to subtitle everything or find the reference images. So then May through September, I have my back porch writing sessions. I take my laptop outside. I transcribe probably 10 songs. I found myself actually writing for sax quartet, even though all I had was an alto and tenor. In July, I post my Toss a Coin video with the new lyrics that I've written, like an alternate universe. This took over a month to shoot. I have to be in a very specific mood to be on camera, as my poor mother found out. We did have a tremendous amount of fun with this though, as you can see from watching the blooper reel. July, I'm feeling pretty down, yearning for adventure. I upload some footage from my February trip. I buy an ocarina, a snare drum, and a jaw harp. In August, I update my channel name. I decide to make the sax quartet a reality. I buy a Barry sax. I don't know where this inspiration comes from, but I write an ad for a fake dating company. And then I do ADR because I didn't yet have microphones. It normally takes me a month, 2 months to put out videos, and I did this one in like a week. It's also one of the few non-music pieces that I've done. Also in September, Abby sends me a 5-hole flute. The green screen was left in place and not keyed out. Bad editing, Mal, very bad. In October, I finished my Frozen COVID parody. It was one of the back porch pieces. I feel like it's cheating that I downloaded a MIDI. I just kind of needed the measure numbers and some of the horn lines. I changed enough about the MIDI to really make it my own. I beefed it up with some string parts. I programmed some drums. I transcribed counter melodies and other parts that were missing. I changed the key. I added vocal harmonies. Also in October, I decided to finish and upload Ninja Sax Party Halloween Volume 3. You remember that video that I did of Gravity Falls and Fall Out Boy mashup? Well, I finally got around to transcribing it and creating my own music video for it. I didn't have blue felt for Dipper's hat, so I used green, but I have a green screen. So most of the time the hat was keyed out. Christmas Volume 4. This was definitely the most fun to write. Tumblr has yet to feel as chaotic as it did on election night. Election month, really. It was election night part 1, Destiel, Nevada, 4 Seasons, Rudy Giuliani, the Utah Monolith, the Supernatural series finale, Destiel but in Spanish, 2121, wait, that's Phil of the Future. 2021. 1 year after my solo trip to California, I transcribe California Dreamin' as a sax quartet. I plan to do several more sax quartet or sax ensemble videos in the future. I finally upload Long May You Run. I do a commission video actually for my cousin. Also in March, my dad and I do virtual band festival for a local high school. In April, my buddy from the 48 Hour Film Project needed a second camera person for a music video gig, which was in Toledo. Surprise! And it turns out I knew one of the musicians. In June, oh man, it was finally done. COVID? No. My biggest project to date, the one I started writing in November 2018, shot for shot and note for note recreation of Zero to Hero from Hercules. I play all 5 of the muses. I went through several hard drive crashes. Vlog about how difficult yours is. I posted the blooper highlights from 2019. You know, only like 2 years later. And then I got to work on a college marching band audition video. I had a job interview out in Paso Robles, California. What's in California, you ask? Post-Cali vlogs. Not to be an Alan Menken, Howard Ashman fangirl, but like, some people want their toaster and their sweet little guy like Seymour. That's great. If you want that, fine. But me, I want adventure in the great wide somewhere. I have a lot of experience in technical writing and administration, specifically engineering. I was offered the job as a QA assistant and technical writer, but it was just not the right time. Given how much I hate winter, I constantly regret that decision. In July, I post a side-by-side comparison of Zero to Hero versus the original, and I bought a soprano sax. The squad was complete. So I also bought a cajon bass pedal. My dad got into a musical in August, and hold up, back a sec. For those who don't know, he plays guitar in mostly big bands and musical orchestra pits. I swear this pandemic has changed the chemistry of my brain. I went from introvert to like right on that cusp of like introvert extrovert where you can be both given different scenarios. And yet it's like the worst of both, so just always constantly 100% annoying. I even shot band photos for friends. I purchased screenwriting software in October and transferred Word documents into scripts. It's a good thing I have all those costume wigs because I will be performing all of those roles myself. What is in my eye? Several different female characters. Oh my God, I didn't get it. In November, I started a new job at the recommendation of my buddy Al. What else did I do in 2021? Oh yeah, I got my vaccines and I got my booster and now I'm vaccinated. Maximum vaccinated. I'm looking forward to the future, but my eyesight is going bad. I may have to invest in actual teleprompter software instead of my laptop screen. I have just over 35 music projects that I've either written in full or actively working on at the moment. And I also have about 25 episodes of a web series that I've written. Disclaimer, I have a full-time job, so putting out content consistently is a problem. The only thing I can promise with 100% certainty is that I will not post things on a schedule. If you're new to this channel, hello and welcome to whatever this is. If I'm not doing music, then I'm talking about music. If you're here for saxophone, more of it's coming. Thank you, everybody.